Welcome to Conversations with Toy, a blogcast tackling life one episode at a time. This is the time to air out life's craziest moments. This space is all about speaking about life's hang-ups and ways in which we can leave better than when we started. Topics are all about ways we can find space to be better in life, love, mental space, and health.
Happy Friday. I hope that you have had the most amazing week. It is another Friday. We're super grateful to be here. Let's just get right into the episode. First, I guess I should take a little step back. Before we get into the episode, if this is your first time tuning into Conversations with Toy, hi, I'm Toy, your podcaster. I'm also a content creator, freelance writer, blogger. What else? Mom, wife. I wear a lot of hats, do a lot of things. But with all that being said, it's not a mistake or a surprise or a shock that you're here. If you're here for a purpose. And I hope that we can align. This podcast, along with any other podcast that you can listen to, we're on season 11, is going to be about always mental health, self-care, wellness, as well as what's happening on these internet streets. In the last few weeks, there's been a lot more happening in these internet streets. This is going to be the final episode of season 11 because we're going to come back for season 12. Awesome sauce. Now, this season has been a little trickery for me. And I say that because I haven't been as consistent with this podcast, not because I don't care, not because I don't have good content, but because I have gotten sicker this season than any other season before. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's in the air. I don't know what's in the water, but I need to put a mask on and drink water that is filtered because I am telling you that this is probably the first time out of the 11 seasons that I've recorded to where I feel like the life is just not the life, but so much has been happening. And then with me being sick several times, I could not catch a break this season. However, nonetheless, I was going to just forgo and just be like, okay, we'll just start with season 12 and just announce that. But no, that's not fair to you. We need to talk about the things that are going on. We need to do a year recap. We need to talk about all the things as we prepare for 2025. Yes, we are less than 1 week away to a new year. Don't know how we got here. Time just be flying. Life be lifing, things be going down. So that's why I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do my people like that. I'm going to make sure I at least come back with one more episode for season 11 before we go into 2025 and we go into season number 12. I am super excited. One, let's just talk about Christmas. I hope that you have had the most amazing Christmas for those who celebrate. Because listen, not everybody celebrates. Some people have different religious reasons why they don't celebrate. Other people are just like, listen, Christmas is not my thing. Maybe Christmas makes you super sad. There's 1,001 reasons as to why you may or may not celebrate Christmas. So I'm not here to judge you. We listen and we don't judge. It's not none of my concern as to why. But for those who do celebrate, I hope you had a great one. Hanukkah's here, Kwanzaa. We got a lot of stuff to celebrate. There's a lot going on. So whatever you choose to celebrate, I hope that you celebrate well. I pray that you had the desires of your heart. Honestly, I am so excited and so grateful that Christmas is over. For me, Christmas is more for my children and just kids at heart, all those things. Because I just feel like Christmas, watching, Christmas through your children's eyes, it's something. Even though two of my kids are like teenagers and they're getting older, here's the thing. Nothing about Christmas matters how old you are. I'm 43 and I be hype. I'm always hype about Christmas. Like Christmas is just one of those favorite holidays that you look forward to. It's coming. It's coming every time, every year. And it's just fun to just look at all the things, to see all the things, to decorate. Like decorating, getting into the holiday spirit. It's just something about it. So Christmas has come, it has gone. Now we are focusing on the new year. Let me just say this. If you're not the new year, new me, there's nothing wrong with that. There are a certain amount of people who just don't believe in the concept of it. They believe that it's just false pretense, that it doesn't help you to achieve your goals. And you listen, you have a right to believe that a monkey can wear a suit if you want to. It's none of my concern. Here's the problem with people when they have one belief systems. It's like if you believe in Christmas and you believe in the spirit of Christmas and somebody doesn't, just because you that don't need to sit there and say, well, the people who do are wrong. And the people who do don't need to say the people who don't are wrong. I don't understand why in 2024, almost 2025, we don't allow grown people to be grown. We don't allow people to have choices. We don't allow people to make up their own minds for what it is that they want to do, what they want to be, all the things. We make things so much more difficult. I don't get it, don't understand it, never have. It just does not make sense. And I say all that to say, if you don't believe in having a New Year resolution, that's fine. There are plenty of people who don't. And the people who don't, they believe and call it something completely different. You'll hear people talk about vision boards, which is putting a visualization of what it is that you're willing to work at. Here's the thing. A vision board is not a wish list. Yes, there are things on there that you're going to be like, you know what, this is what I'm praying for. It's going to go down for me for 2025. That's 100%. But anything that you put on that vision board, you better be prepared to work for it. I put on that I wanted to go on more brand trips this 2024. I wanted to do certain things, and it happened. But it didn't happen just because I put it on the board. It happened because I put it on the board, I believed it, and I worked towards it. What are you willing to work towards? If you believe in vision boards, what are you willing to work? Because again, it's not a wish list. It's not something that you can just cut out of a magazine, throw some pictures on there, and then keep it moving. Like, you have to be willing to work at it. If you're not willing to work at it, don't even put it on the board, because you really have got to be focused. You got to figure out what it is that you want. And here's the thing. I believe in vision boards as far as me doing the work. It's just really just seeing your goals come to pass. A lot of times I always encourage people, if you do a vision board, which you usually do it on some type of like poster board, cardstock, something to that extent. Also make sure that you take a picture of it, put it on your phone, put it somewhere where you can see it, post it somewhere where you can see it, hold yourself accountable, and ask yourself, what goals are you willing to do for the year? What goals are you willing to do per day, per week, per month? And you have to work at it. You just have to. Like, it's just really not a lot of wiggle room when it comes to just trying to accomplish certain things. Like, you're going to want to set those goals, but you're going to want to work at it. And if you're not willing to work at it, you're really just doing an arts and crafts project. But if you're willing to do the work, right? And it doesn't mean that everything that you do is going to happen, but you can surely get close. You can do your best to get it to happen if you do the work. You know what I mean? Like, doing the work is the best way and the best reward anyway. So get ready to prepare if you're doing a vision board to do the work, right? So that's what's happening. New Year is going to be here. New Year's Eve is going to be here as you start a new year, 2025. And, obviously, letting old things go and moving forward. Here's the thing. A lot of things that I've learned in therapy about the whole letting things go. You will never not be triggered by it again. It's just, how do you control that trigger? How are you going to control the trigger? Because triggers can come at the most opportune ways. Like, you just never know. So I had a conversation with my therapist right before we went to Christmas. And the reason was because I just was like, you know what? I need to be prepared. I need to prepare for all things. I want to make sure that I'm good. And you know what? God does not make any mistakes, and neither does a good, thought process. When you think about yourself and self-care, we talk about self-care and mental health and wellness all the time, but sometimes self-care is knowing what you need and then going after it. I was like, you know what? Christmas is coming. We're going to be traveling for a couple, not for a couple of days, but for a few hours. I probably should have the conversation with my therapist. If it wasn't on an on-time situation, because the very thing that I talked to my therapist about literally almost happened word for word, verbatim, in the same spirit. And I was like, you know what? If I did not have therapy this week, would I have been prepared for any of the things that may have happened? And the answer would have been probably not. Probably not. So this is why, for me, and I do encourage other people to try to do the same, like attempt to try to get some form of therapy. Like, what are you doing to take care of you when you're not in a situation where you're stressed? Like, you don't prepare for the stress for when you get into it. You have to find ways to deal with it prior to it coming. Or if you're dealing with something that's bothering you, it's like, what are you doing to aid? What are you doing to help yourself? Like, what are you actually doing that's going to help you? And I've been asking myself that. I've been asking some of my friends when I've had a conversation with a couple of them this week, and they're expressing like, feeling overwhelmed, feeling this emotional pull, like feeling like they're going to break down. Like, this is one conversation that I had with one friend, but I had another conversation with someone else. They're like, I just want to give up because I don't see things happen in a certain way. And it's like, these are very normal, everyday situations. And why am I saying it's normal? I'm not minimizing their stress. I'm not minimizing what they're going through. What I'm saying is that this is so common that we treat it so common by not taking care of ourselves enough. We know that we have things going on, but we refuse to do the work that we need to make sure that we're okay. And you can't wait until something happens and then try to work backwards. Like, you have to have some type of plan in place so that when something happens, it gives you the skill sets to try to get through it. Like, that is really one of the powerful things that I feel like therapy has done. It gives you something that you can rely on. And this thing is, your therapist doesn't go with you. Like, my therapist doesn't jump in the car and travel with me to Christmas. My therapist doesn't go to work. It doesn't do any of those things, with me or anything like that. Therapists are there to give you the skill set so that when you need it, you're supposed to be able to tap into those same skills and use them. So let's say that your thing is not about setting goals, or let's just say you don't believe in New Year resolutions, meaning you don't believe in trying to do these little fake promises. And the reason why I say little fake promises, because that's what people think when they think about New Year's resolutions. They'll say, I'm not trying to make no fake New Year's promises. I'm not trying to make these fake promises that I know I'm not going to keep. One of the things that I've learned over the years is that if you cannot keep a promise to yourself, if you cannot do the work to show up for you, you cannot get mad at somebody else who doesn't show up for you. We will get more mad at somebody else not showing up for us than we get mad at ourselves for not doing the work. So all I'm saying is, if that is you, if you say, listen, I'm not about New Year resolutions, that's your business. You can do what you want to do. I'm not here to judge you. We listen, but we don't judge. What I am telling you is to still find a way to do some goals. You still got to set goals. You still got to be prepared. And so if that's not you, please don't start dumping on people. I hate it when I hear the people say, oh, here we go with the new year, new me. Everybody going to be at the gym. Oh, my God. And they're going to be the one taking over the gym. If you've been at the gym all this time and you've been at the gym all year in 2024, and so what is it to you if another person's in there? Here's the thing I never did understand. This could just be me. I could be the only person that's off. Why do we get upset for people? Okay, they're going to be at the gym for 30 days or less than 30 days and then they're going to join off. Let them have their 30. Let people have their 30. If you think that it's going to be only 30 days and they're going to fall off, that's 30 days they didn't have last year. That's one more day than they had the day before. What if that's the problem. We have to wait until a new year to reset when you could just reset today. You don't have to wait. If you can hear the sound of my voice and you're like, you know what, let me get my behind to the gym, then you can go to the gym. It doesn't matter if you didn't go all year round. So this is what gets me more upset about the people who talk bad about people because they're going to be at the gym, they're going to fall off. Let them people have that 30. Let them have it. It does not make you fat that they're at the gym. Like, I think you would want everybody to be at the gym. So even if you can't go or you don't go every day, what if somebody was just like, you know what, I can only dedicate to maybe going twice a month. Maybe I can only go once a month. Little starts, little fires, they will ignite big change. Allow people that grace. We get so caught up in making sure that we let somebody know that they missed the mark, and you're missing the mark by highlighting that they missed the mark. Let people do what they're going to do. I don't know where we came from as a society where we have to police grown people all the time. Ain't you tired? Like, it would be draining to me to watch everybody's move and be wondering what this person is doing, what that person is doing. And they only went to the gym twice a week. Do you sleep with these people every day that you know everybody's whereabouts? If you spent that much time, I almost can guarantee you, if you spent that much time on yourself versus wondering what everybody else is doing, I almost can guarantee you your life would be magnificent, or at least would be better than it was. So yes, there will be a lot of new year, new me. Let people reset. I use my birthday as a reset. New Year as a reset. I go over different goals every single time. Let people reset. A new year is a clean slate. It doesn't change what you did in 2024. You can't say, well, I did that then, so now this is a new year, I'm good. It doesn't clean it, but it does give you a sense of renewal. And listen, in this raggedy ass world that we live in, you mean to tell me that's not worth it? to allow people to have that 5 minutes of joy, that 5 minutes of peace, to feel like they've poured into their cup. I need y'all to lay low on these people. Let folks do the new year, new me. Let them have their moment, because it doesn't take away from you. It's not about you. It's about getting people that renewed sense of living in life. Like, there is so much bad stuff happening in this world every single day. For instance, a few days before not before Thanksgiving, I mean Christmas. Literally, I think it was the day before Christmas Eve. I'm on my way home. Yes, it was Christmas Eve. I was on my last minute things. I'm on my way home, and this man stops in front of my car. First of all, he pulls out in front of this traffic, ends up getting in front of me. I already saw he was coming, so I was just like, whatever, let him do what he's going to do, because, you can't stop people from peopling. So as he stopped, he literally stops on a dime, blows his horn, gives me the finger, drives maybe 1 little inch, stops again abruptly, then blows his horn and gives me the finger. He does this about maybe 3 or 4 times. So I'm on the phone with my mom, and then he just lays on his horn. And my mom was like, is that somebody beeping at you? And I'm like, yeah, something's got to be off with him. Something's got to be wrong, because people don't normally drive like that unless you're trying to get some, fake insurance claim, like unless you're trying to set me up, which didn't work. But people don't act like that. So the world is full of foolishness. I don't have the energy to get mad at somebody for saying, I want to be different this year. I want to try something different this year. I want to work out more at the gym. I'm going to try to eat right. I'm going to try to live right. It doesn't take anything away from you. We need grace every single day. And some of y'all ain't had a dip into a grace pool in so long that you don't recognize giving and allowing other people to have grace. And listen, I'm a PK, which is a preacher's kid, so I'm going to help you super spiritual ones too. All that junk you talk about people and how they don't do this and they don't do that, I promise you doing something you ain't got no business, and you probably should be focusing on that, okay? So let's let the people do the new year, new me. Let them have it. It's not for you. If that's not for you, then you just keep on moving. But I want to talk about this year as a whole. Like, what are some of the things that I feel like I took away or I'm bringing into the new year? There's a lot of things that I want to bring into the new year. Renewed sense of mindset, learning how to shake off the nose. Listen, I'm a content creator, and what I do a lot of times is pitching to companies. And as you're pitching to a company, you're hoping that they're going to like your idea. They're going to want to pay you whatever it is that you feel like you're worth. It's a hard battleground. Sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. And I want to take the tenacity of knowing that, yes, I'm going to hear some no's before I hear my yes, but not allowing my no's that I'm hearing to stop me from getting back up and trying all over again. And so those are types of things that I want to bring into the new year. Some things that I want to leave in the old 2024. I want to leave like learning how to communicate effectively. Not just communication, but communicating effectively, because I can go from 0 to 100. Like, I'm literally a part of Drake's team at this point, because I can go from 0 to 100 for a lot of things, insignificant things, big things. These are things that I've struggled with. I know that about me. It doesn't take a lot to set me off. But I will say this. I've done so much better, but there's still so much work to be done. So those are the types of things that I want to leave in the 2024 and work towards the things that will work and resonate for me. Because again, it doesn't make any sense to continue to move the way that we tend to move and not do what's important for ourselves. Another thing is I want to make sure that I get my spirit together, which means I want to get into my Bible a little bit more. I want to read. I want to have that spiritual, foundation, make sure that it's, continuously on solid ground. And those are things that I want to do for myself. 2024 has been filled with a lot of beautiful moments, but I got to be honest, 2024 has also brought upon stress that I didn't even believe was possible. Like in different areas of my life, I felt stressed. I felt like I was fighting for my life as an entrepreneur, trying to get certain billings together, invoices together, which I'm still going into 2025 with certain ones that haven't been paid. And I'm legitimately feel like I'm fighting for my life. I don't know what it is. I was talking to other content creators, and I feel like this is one of those years where, again, I know this happens every year, every day, every month, in business, things happen. But I feel like this year was an extra touch. There should not be a general consensus that every time you turn around, a content creator is saying, hey, I haven't been paid. And I feel like this year has really brought out the bad in companies and their payment schedules. So if you have been dealing with that and you're in a business field, now I get it. Everybody's going to be like, well, businesses are still struggling from COVID. Yes, there's a lot of people that are, but then there are some other businesses and other business arenas who, again, didn't necessarily suffer so much and have the ability to pay. They hold on to them coins stronger than Mario and some super coins. I'm telling you how bad it's been in content creator world. It's been a struggle. Like, it's been a complete struggle trying to get stuff together, trying to get these companies to honor their own commitments. Like, it's like they want certain content, they want it at a certain deadline, but they don't want to pay you at a certain deadline. So this year I felt like I was fighting, still fighting. Again, I'm going into 2025 with invoices that were happening in about second quarter, possibly third, but more second. It's crazy to me how this is even a possibility. Why are we still struggling like this to do the bare bone basics? So this year has challenged me in so many ways. It has challenged my relationships. It has challenged my way of thinking. And it has just been an up and down struggle. Some days are better than others, but 2024 has had its moments. Again, 2024 has also had its highs with, me visiting the White House, and some other beautiful things that have happened this year has really over exceeded even my expectations. Like, some of the stuff I didn't even have on the vision board. This is why a vision board is a beautiful thing, because sometimes you may not have certain things on your vision boards, but if you work hard, you can get to other things that you will unlock. You won't even have to do anything but do the same work you already been working on. Also, with all these new changes, the new year, new me, are you participating in Dry January? If you don't know what Dry January is, it is when you basically shoo away not drinking any form of alcohol in any form, because you want to make sure that you're, again, starting off with a healthy mindset. Plus, if you're like me and like most of America, most of the world, because you may not even be in America, shout out to my international listeners. What I will say is that we were all out here eating all these snacks. I got so many cookies, chocolates, snacks. I done made Rice Krispie treats. We done had cakes, pies, banana pudding. The one day I had banana pudding for breakfast. So listen, we all been eating like trash, and especially at the end of the year when you want to quote unquote super indulge, there's so many different holiday treats that you want to have. And so yeah, Dry January is a great way to reset. Now here's what significance of Dry January and your weight and your, maintaining a healthy weight. One of the things that I learned, I used to do Weight Watchers when I first started dropping off this weight. And it's a great program if you are looking for something that's going to motivate. But I did Weight Watchers, and we would look at the points of our food. Each thing that you have, each thing that you consume has a certain level of points. And I remember looking at things like cocktails and things of those sorts. Those have a higher sugar content, and they can then be, more of an issue than a blessing, I should say. So if you've been eating like that all Christmas, if you've been eating like that pretty much since Halloween came in, because listen, when that Halloween candy hit, and then you go right into Thanksgiving, where you already having multiple plates and all those desserts and everything, then you flip right over to Christmas, and then you start the New Year. The New Year, you just sitting over there. Now you done had all the champagne, you done had Prosecco, you done had all kind of stuff. Dry January is your friend. I have done this. This will be my third year doing Dry January. And what I was going to say was that when I started to lose weight and I did the Weight Watchers program, certain foods and drinks would have certain points. And the one thing that we learned is, like, all those cocktails, because of all the sugar that's in it, all that stuff is not what you want. So drinking things like just straight vodka or straight shots, I'm not telling you to just, take shots back. What I am saying is that when you do that, it is actually less points. And I know that obviously people who don't do the Weight Watchers have never done it with the points, but it is just basically less calorie intake. And you want to make sure that you get enough calorie intake to, help your body stay healthy, but you don't want to overindulge. And when you do that, that's when you have these issues, and that's when weight gain happens. That's when all these different things. So listen, none of us, from the sound of my voice, couldn't do a good Dry January and keep themselves going well, because you're not eating or you're not drinking enough. You're just consuming the right things. But here's the thing about wellness. Wellness is a path and a journey. And if you've ever taken a path, it's like when back in the day when you used to have the maps, you would print out your maps, you would go on your way, your map quest, and you would go on your way. And if you got lost, there wasn't Siri or a GPS that can bring you back. You pretty much had to get lost and figure it out. Well, in life with wellness, that's kind of how it works. You can't just simply do one thing. You have to figure this out. You have to add other elements to your wellness journey. If you're not making sure that you get enough water, if you're not making sure that you get enough sleep, if you're not taking care of your body in the way that you need, if you can't tell yourself, you know what, it's honorable for me to go ahead and just stop talking to this person. They're making me a little angry. Maybe I'm not feeling well, and maybe I should retreat. That's wellness. What about making sure that, okay, you know what, I'm getting my sleep, I'm drinking my water, I'm minding my business? Because once you do those 4 things right there, you really don't have time. But peradventure, you end up having more time than just that. You are going to have to figure out, what is my path to wellness? How can I get here? Let me take my vitamins. How do I get here? Let me drink my water. How do I get here? So this is the reason why the New Year, New Me would work, because if you're starting to take focus on the different areas of your life, again, the hope is if you can do anything in 30 days, you can make it more of a reality than just simply saying, I'm going to do. Like, it becomes a part of you. It becomes how you move. So again, as you are continuing on, or if you say, you know what, I need to start a wellness journey. Maybe I should be more aware of what I'm eating. Be more aware of how I'm talking to myself. If you're constantly in the mirror telling yourself how you can or you can't, you're not bringing any positive energy, the real positive energy that you need to be successful. So wellness is looking at all of these things and saying, what is the best option for myself? And yes, if you're like me, you have to think of other people as well. But don't be afraid to also make decisions that's going to affect you in a way that's going to affect you in a most dominant way, the way that's going to help you to be your best self. Because sometimes I feel like we use that, we care about other people, so we should care less about ourselves. No, you should care and love yourself to the utmost. That way you can help somebody else to get to that level. If you are not a planner person, meaning you don't own a planner, you just don't see the value in it, I'm just going to encourage you to do so. I'm a little bit of a planner snob. I will say that my planners have to be pretty big, nothing like, but remember the old school, for those who grew up in a Christian home, you had that, maybe it was just me, you had this big Bible. The Bible used to be almost big as like the table, and you would have that as on your mantle or on your table as people came in, whatever the case may be. I say that to say, where are your goals? Like, you got to put them in the forefront. You got to make sure that they are available to you. And don't forget to add, what are you reading as your goal for your wellness journey as well. If you are only consuming, like, I'm not going to lie, I do consume quite a few things. I consume a lot because of social media and my job, my work. The things that I do are all on social media. So yes, I'm going to consume a lot of social media, but I've been proud to say I've read over 20 books this year. Let me repeat that. I know it's hard. I'm not even going to hold your hand. Y'all need to stop talking about holding people's hands. Some people don't even wash their hands. Don't hold their hands. Wave to them as you tell them. But I read over 20 books this year. And the reason is because what you read, what you take in, the entertainment that you consider to be entertainment for yourself, all of these are factors. And so I've been grateful. I'm going to add more than that this next year. I'm determined to just read, because I think it's important. Also, the benefits of having just a little bit of alone time. Listen, and even if that alone time isn't truly alone, because it's like that one meme is like, I'm just going to bypass that meme. But what I will say is, you've got to take stock in the things that you need. And let me just say this. Nothing is more important than pouring from a beautiful full cup. I wrote a blog post a couple weeks ago saying about how sometimes it's okay to ask your friends if they have capacity. I think I talked about this at the last episode too. If you're not in a situation where you can take, on the capacity of being there for someone else, you need to be clear on that, because your wellness and how you treat yourself is going to be very dependent upon you taking care of yourself. What are you listening to? Like, you're listening to this podcast, you're well on your way, but there's other podcasts that you can listen to. There's other voices that you can listen to that bring about positive change. Like, that's, I don't understand. We have the power to stop something from happening, as far as not happening, but coming to us, if we have the choices that we can make to make sure we've removed the people and the things that don't serve us anymore. Also, what trips are you taking this year? Have you decided what your travel plans are going to be? I've already started mapping out my travel plans, business and personal, and what that's going to look like, how much it's going to take to get there. Because, flying and going on these trips, they're not cheap and they're not for the faint. So thinking about those things, what is it that I'm going to do to make sure that I can travel well this upcoming year, especially if travel is your thing. If you know you really like it, or you hope to get into it, or you want to start getting into it, you have to start booking. You have to start taking trips. You have to start doing those things. So yes, challenges this year, beautiful things happen this year, renewed sense of mind happen next, or is going to happen, will happen for next year, because I'm going to be focused. I'm ready to work hard. I'm ready to get all the things done. I'm going to continue to read. I'm going to continue to drink my water. I'm going to try to mind my business. I say try, because as long as we got TikTok, which we already know is about to be banned soon, allegedly, we're not sure how that's going to turn out. A lot of us are always busy worrying about what somebody else is doing. So, just keep that in mind as you start your, continue your wellness journey into 2025. And what are you looking for the most? Like, what is really going to make you feel like, I've arrived? What is your arrival moment? Because I guarantee you, whatever you think your arrival moment is, it's going to be blown out of the park. For instance, my big arrival moment was getting invited to the White House, right? My big moment, did I say environmental moment? But my very, 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 very big moment for me for the 2024 year was, again, this invite to the White House, which ended at the end of the year, like just literally happened like a week ago. And it's like, you know what? I need to stop dreaming and work hard, yes, but stop dreaming, because my dreams can never compare to the dreams that are going to be made for me. So I say all that to say, like, there is so much joy that you can take into the new year. Listen, I understand some of us has been hit so hard that we don't have nothing in us to do the right thing, but I promise you can do the right thing. So keep that in mind, because as we're finishing up to talk about the new year, there's been a lot of loss, a lot of people who have lost their way, have lost their minds. So the fact that you're here with your sound mind, and you can hear, and that God is speaking to you or through you, through me, listen, do you. All I'm trying to tell you is that we have got to take ourselves a little bit, just a little bit more carefully than what we're doing, because we're not doing a good enough job. I know that for a fact, for this last 2 weeks, I've been working on something so crazy and so tedious that I've been looking up, and it's like, oh, I might as well just eat dinner. But then, because I was so lazy to go to the grocery store for my own personal stuff, I really don't have anything that you can just go ahead and make up and be good. I just don't. Now, we have to talk about Beyonce's Super Bowl extravaganza. Even if you feel like you're not a Beyonce fan, even if you feel as if, you're in a situation where, it's always about team this, team that, I need you to get that shift, that beautiful shift of saying, I'm going to honor me. But Beyonce, Giselle Knowles Carter definitely did her big one on that Netflix. Did you get a chance to see it? I really want you to make sure you see it, because it's something glorious to see. First of all, everything that she could have done, she did. Beyonce, again, you can study her, and there's a lot of schools that are taking colleges and courses to study her. But the reason why is that her business model and the way that she moves and how she drops things without you really knowing. And then if you do know something and you think when you get in front of it or get in front of her, you find out that the plans are massive. But Beyonce got up on that stage. She literally owned it. She did all the things that was necessary, because when she came out there, it was like instant. You can be a hater or you can be a participator, right? And I feel like with Beyonce, you definitely can be a participator. She will let you know, like, you got to work hard. We all see her story. We all understand and know what she's gone through. And so, yes, you can have those same moments. You just got to be willing to do the work. But Beyonce did her work, and whatever's coming out on January, I think it's January the 14th, I'm here for it. Give me 200 of them. I'm excited for it. We'll see how this goes. I'm just telling you that January the 14th, she's supposed to be dropping, so we will pay that some attention as well. So let's be more mindful of ourselves. Let's take care of ourselves. Let's do good to ourselves. Do you treat yourself well? Think about those things. So we talked about what you're reading, what you're listening to, all the things. What else happened this year that I felt like maybe needed an honorable mention? I don't know. I did so many good things. I worked with so many amazing companies this year that I hope to expand that. I really do. I hope to expand that and extend partnerships with companies that are going to be long term. I don't want to do anything that's too short term. Like I want to make sure I have and build in longevity. What else am I looking forward to? I should say, what am I looking forward to in 25? We talked a little bit about that, the different areas that I'm looking and working through. I highly suggest that you do your preparation for your 2025. I started working on this the other day, where I started writing certain things like, not just this is what I want to do, but what's the plan to getting there? So I've broke down certain areas. There's so many more areas to do. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. So I'm writing these things down in the back of my planner, which I did talk about, but I did get a new planner for Christmas. It's one of the things that I do every year. I usually look at what do I need business-wise and what do I need that will help me, be a better person. And of course, I'm obsessed with the planner. And I did say this, and I'm not sure if I'm a planner snob. I love Bando or Bandu. I think it's Bandu. Yeah, Bandu is the name of a company. They sell a lot of accessories, clothing, and things like that. But one of the things that I look forward to every single year is getting a absolutely brand new planner. My 2024 calendar looks like a very colorful taste of the rainbow. It's a lot. It's a lot of color to it, but this planner, which is the same size, because I said this earlier in the podcast, I like the bigger planners. I need to see things. I don't want to write in small spaces. I hate writing in small spaces. I feel like my handwriting doesn't do well when you're in a small space. So I am looking forward to that time. And yeah, 2025 is going to be good. It's going to be just as good as the work you put into it. I'm going to keep repeating that. But Christmas was good. New Year's is on its way. And this will be the last episode as we end season 11. And what I mean by it is that I am coming back for season 12. I'm just saying this is the last episode, I should say, of having to think and be aware and all the things so yeah, exciting times. I hope that you had a great new year. Please find one activity that you can do for yourself. This is outside of what you do for other people. This is outside what you do for people when it comes to how you move. Find one activity that you really, really love and that you really, really enjoy, and then do it well. You deserve that soft, they call it the soft life. But really, the soft life is just making things super convenient, right? And being okay with doing that. If you want to order food and you're like, you know what, I'm going to have food delivered or I'm going to have groceries delivered, that having somebody else pull it could be the make or break of having a good night and not having to run around. So you are deserving. So today and every day up until the New Year's, I want you to work hard on the things that you need. I want you to work hard on what you want to say, what do you want to do, how do you want to move, and then be specific when you do the plan. Don't just say, I would love to get a new car. Maybe it's, I would love to get a new car that's basically number one in the field for safety. You have to think about all the things. It may be just saying, I want a certain color. Whatever it is, place it on the vision board. I promise you, you're going to see it as long as you do the hard work to keep it and to maintain it. So have the most amazing week, and I will be back with you, I believe, maybe 1 or 2 weeks, and then we're going right into it because, again, we don't want to be prolonging the situation any further than it has to be. So have a good Friday. Thank you for tuning in to Conversations with Toy, and we will be back in the new year. Happy pre-New Year to everyone and everyone.
Thank you as always for joining me, and I know that even in the deepest or joyful conversations that there's something we can learn and apply. Until next time, I hope that you are doing better. If not, we will be back to talk some more and handle it. Peace to you and yours. Stay grounded.